Hey, good morning. It is 7 a.m. I'm about a half an hour late from normal chore time here. And as you can see, the faithful are anxiously waiting. So we are going to throw you on the fence here while I do chores. Well, I'm going to set my coffee down first. I'm going to throw you on the fence, do some chores, and then we're going to do our ride along. So hopefully this will be interesting, but if not, then don't watch. Pretty simple stuff here. Okay, here we go. So find a post here just to make sure we're set good. Okay, looks pretty decent here. Okay, I'm gonna go get some feed and you're gonna watch them come running. We worked calves yesterday, and so everything is worked up, and we'll probably feed another couple weeks, and then we'll get them off to the neighbor to go ahead and finish feeding out. So anyway, thank you. I will get to her here and commentate on the ride along the way. So here we go. Okay. Look at. Okay. Roughly 50. Well, not roughly. There's 15 head in there. We added one heifer that I bought out of a sale. Local guy. I'll go ahead and show you her. She's maintainer heifer. She's out of a Steel Force Irish Whiskey cow, and then Data Bank main bull owned by Griswold Cattle Company. Here she is. Yeah, we bought her for my son to show. So that's her. Everything else appears to be eating really well. They come running when it's feed time, and so we like that. Go ahead and set you down here for a minute while I put the buckets up, and then we'll get rolling. Take a little bit of mineral up to the pasture. They've not been eating a lot of mineral, but we'll take some up. That old trusty here worked on. I was trying to think the last time I had this truck worked on. Been a while. Nothing major. It's leaked power steering fluid for like probably 6 years, and it got bad enough to the point where it was starting to annoy me having to add every day. I think I might have mentioned that in a prior video. So we got that done, and we also had them deal with the front brakes. So front brakes were starting to squeal a little, and so got that taken care of. I do have one tire that's got a screw or something in it, and so I've been dealing with that, checking it every day, and it's a pretty slow leak. Given my luck with tires, I'll probably come out some morning and it will be geez, turn the radio down a little. It will probably be flat, at which point it'll become an emergency. Pretty common around here. Okay, just give you a little visual here. Try to keep the camera. Garage. Oh, did not talk about the garage. So the excitement, I'm supposed to get garage doors today. The excitement over the electrical, we call DCI REC out here, and kind of told him what the electrical contractor said, and he just kind of shook his head and said, do you have his phone number by chance? And I said, I do not, but I'll get it for you. And so I called our general contractor, and he gave me the phone number. I patched it along to DCI REC, and I listened in, intently as they discussed it. Basically, we have a 400 amp service panel at the top of the pole, and you know, the ECI REC guy told me you do not want to downgrade to 200 amp. He said, I'll talk to the guy if you want. I said, yeah, why don't you? So he did, and 400 amp, he's like, he told the guy, you know, hey, this is pretty simple stuff here. You just connect into the bottom of it like the rest of the connections up there. He said there's nothing wrong with it, and it's pretty common out here in the farmstead to put these kind of units in over the normal meter that he's used to seeing, where it has a breaker style shut off. There's a long pole that shuts it off on the house side. So anyway, guy gets up there yesterday, which this is Saturday morning, October 2nd, so he got up there yesterday, and at first he had an aluminum ladder that he brought out, and it wasn't quite long enough, and he said, boy, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to it today. I've got this aluminum ladder and this and that. We'll go ahead and wire everything else, but he said that is really sketch up there. And I said, well, I don't know. I mean, the last guy just popped up there and it was no time, and he was, you know, he had her figured out. And so anyway, I was doing some stuff outside, and he come back a little later, and he said, well, I'm going to go get another ladder that's a little bit longer and that, and I said, okay, good luck. He come back, he did take the front of the panel off, and he told me, boy, that's super sketch, I don't know about it. He said, I took some pictures to send to my dad. Apparently his dad's an electrician too. This guy owns the company, right? And anyway, took some pictures to show his dad, and I said, you know, you just kind of do what you got to do. He said, can you call ECI REC and have them cut the power, and we'll just hook it up quick? I said, I can call. I'm not sure how they're gonna feel about that, you know, an electrician that, but at any rate, I do want him to be safe. I don't want him, if he's not comfortable, to get up there and start messing with stuff. So I do appreciate the fact that he is being cautious. I don't know how ECI REC is gonna take the cutting power to hook up a connection to the house, or the garage, but we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't cost. That'd be the next thing. Whoop, sorry. I'm doing terrible with this camera, and I apologize. I forget I have it sometimes. Anyway, so I've got to call ECI REC and have them come out so this guy can get up there and cut the power, and he can hook things up. So we'll see how that goes. Part of me's like, just want to call my normal electrician and just have him do it. But at this point too, it's like, you know, calling him to clean up somebody else's mess, that always sucks when you're somebody coming in, you know, why didn't you use me to start with and stuff, which the reason we didn't wasn't because we don't like his work, it was because this contractor said it was all included and so in the price that they quoted us, and rather than go back and forth and trying to coordinate a bunch of crap, you know, we just went with it. But now I'm coordinating a bunch of crap anyway that, you know, I don't think I'd have to coordinate had we just went with our electrician. So whatever. Anyway, so long story short, we've got more drama, but he did tell me that he was going to get it done. So the guy, I think, has a little bit of pride, so I don't think he's going to go back on that word. He's going to hook it up. He said that the connection, which I've not seen the inside of that, so, but he said the connection was just the open one is close to the main power coming in, and I don't blame him if that's the case. I would be a little bit nervous over that too, although I do think he could. We have one that went out to the old barn. I think he could cut the power on our side and use that to reroute those wires, just unhook those and reroute those wires, but I don't know. I'm just gonna have ECI REC cut the power for him if they're agreeable and go that route. So anyway, that's the update on that. We are close to coming up on the pasture here, and so we will see. It looks like the cows are right out front, so we're going to get a good visual on the cows. I'm going to roll this window down because I know it's a little bit wet. So we'll just see what we get here. Four, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 of them. They're all there. I'm just going to go ahead and just do a little bit of filming here. Hey, ladies. Okay, I'm gonna go dump some mineral up here. I didn't think about the windows being kind of frogged over and dirty and everything else, but you're probably getting a lot better video right now. Okay. Water looks good. Dump some mineral in here. I'm sure they don't really need it, but mineral has not been going that fast, but we will dump it anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and set this on the fence post here while I do this. Sorry about that falling over. When I closed the gate, apparently the gate movement was such that it okay. I just want to pull up here. This is just a beautiful shot here of cows just out there grazing. There you have it. Don got his roof or portions of it replaced. Doesn't look like the roof on the garage got replaced, but I haven't been up there close enough to see for sure, so don't quote me on that. See if I can clean some of that off for you. Here, morning check done. Usually check morning and night just to get a good number if I can. Been very little issues. So I've talked about those issues, minor issues that we've had in other videos, but it's just been, 2 instances of cows out, and one of them I'm pretty sure I addressed. I don't know how the bull got out. But the calves, little calves, got out once, and that was a shortfall of fencing between the south barn that's not really even a barn anymore, and there's a fence post, and there's enough of a gap there between that and the barn that I think they use that to get out. So now we're headed to the Franklin Ranch, Bluegate Acres. We will show you the heifers there. We will show you barn progress. I've been wanting to do one of these videos on their barn being built for some time now. It's just been so hard this week to get out and get that rolling. Pictures have been the way to go, just because it takes quite a bit of time for me to. I just realized you're watching my instrument panel. Sorry about that. It takes some time for me to get out there with the camera and then do all the editing and uploading and stuff. So I like to do as much of that on the weekend as I can. I think we're supposed to get a shot of rain at some point today. Deer hunter here. I finally seen this guy. First time. I think it was yesterday or the day before. Must have a tree standing there somewhere. But I saw him. He was all camoed out. So it must be bow season too. I know youth season what's going on or is going on or something. But must be bow season. I am going to try to move slowly here just so you can kind of see the enormity of the barn. You can see the top of it right here over the corn. So pretty darn amazing. Going by Rick and Delaney Kreitner's house. Pulling the drive here. I'm going to turn the water on. Gates are open and stuff. That was one thing I always checked too. For a while there, the gate seemed like it was getting tighter. There's a shot of the house. Garage. Of course, they're catching me on the ring thing on the house. What a moron, they're probably saying. Okay. Get my coffee here. So we'll go turn the water on first. I may just find a spot for you to set for now until I'm ready to do the take you around. Just get a barn shot here. Oh, shoot. There. That'll sit there maybe. So this is pretty awesome here. The guys put the top back on the water bin here. Water storage deal. Yesterday. They asked me about it. They said that we've been asked to do that. Do I just kind of run it by me to see if I was tracking with them? Excuse me, my allergies are really rough this morning. They asked me about it, and I think they just like to double check and triple check things, which I don't blame them. So, and they also took this step. Looks like there was a power deal there, power line still hooked up. Pieces of it had been cut at the ground. So he actually asked me, is there anything else you can think of? He said, we've got this telehandler here. He said, we can do any of that stuff and it's no big deal. And I'm like, nothing else I can think of, but we'll put the buzz out. Okay, here we go. This is the front of the barn. I'm on the sideways side right now. Here you'll see, so they're going to redig this. They had to move this over slightly because the hydrant was going to be right in the middle. If they went where initially they were set to go, because at one point I think the idea was to have it close enough that you could get the old 14 or 16 foot gate in there. I think it might be a 14 footer. And we come out here and we set the gate in, and he looked at it and he's like, well, the hydrant's going to be right in the middle of the doorway unless we rework the doorway. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea or not. So, but he aligned it as such so that the hydrant is right between that door and that big door there. So really works pretty well, I think. But it's going to take an 18-foot gate now, I believe, to get across there. And you can kind of see the line here too, the gate. So yeah, it's going to take a 18-foot gate. Now, just a few feet off, but I don't know how you avoid it. And then I assume by that happening, I assume this matches probably. This is not. I think it might have at one point been a 3-foot gap. I'm guessing it's probably closer to 7 now. Sorry, the camera there. I was stretching my arms across there. Yeah, I think it is about 7 foot now. So they kind of work this pad here. I think you can kind of see too where the opening for the, I think the goal must be to align this office. See, this area here is going to be an office. Align that with the edge of that door, roughly, or maybe in the center of this here. So I'm just going to take you around and show you kind of what's going on here. What the hell that is? Like a grain bin or something, but there wouldn't be a grain bin out there. Anyway, hit the thing again. Oh yeah, so you can see. So here's the window. They've got the start of the thing on. The wrap this door here. It's open. This is an open door here. The cattle to be able to come in and out. Imagine there'll be a gate across there. And then this one here is a slider. I'm not sure what the interior plan is, but in my mind, those are maybe calving pins or something. So you can bring them in and then shut the door and kind of keep them out of the weather. One thing I'm going to do here in a second, and then this door they kind of started to. I'm going to come back here. I'm going to stand in the middle. So I'm going to stand right here off of this post, and I'm going to look straight down where I think that this would run if it was straight. So it hits, it's about, I don't know, close to lining up. So this here is close to lining up with the doorway on the very east edge, you know, and it's not dead center, but closer maybe to center than it would be to, this would probably be closer to like the edge, a few feet over here.